to my channel. So as you can tell by the title, this video is going to be about my breastfeeding journey and how it's been going. It has come to an end, kind of, sort of, but yeah, let's go ahead and get into the details, and yeah, let's get on started. Okay, so if you guys remember, I told you guys that when Noah was born, he did have jaundice, and his pediatrician had asked me to supplement with formula for the time being so his jaundice can clearly, fully go away. So I did that, and I think by doing that, it did mess up my milk supply, or it, like they say, when you feed your baby, it's pretty much telling your body, like, hey, you need to make milk because someone is trying to eat. But I think by giving him the formula and supplementing for as long as I did for about 2 weeks, and then it was pretty much gone. But I think that really messed me up. I'm not too sure if that's really the reason, but that's what I'm going off of. At birth, we did breastfeed for the whole 3 days that I was at the hospital. It came natural to us. Like, we have no problem whatsoever with latching on or him eating or anything. It was amazing. It was perfect. He was born. He didn't want to eat at that time, but he did eat about 2 hours later. Not 2 hours. Maybe like an hour and a half later. He started sucking his thumb. So the nurse was like, "Okay, we'll bring him over to me." He was with my husband at that time. So the nurse brought him to me, put him on my chest, and he knew what to do. And I was like, I don't know how to hold him, like thinking that in my head. But as soon as she gave him to me, I just, it just clicked for both of us. So it was pretty natural for us breastfeeding. He knew what to do. I knew what to do. It was amazing. He latched on like that. It was awesome. So I'm over there thinking like, okay, this is going to be awesome. This is what I want to do. I want to breastfeed, and it looks like it's going to go well. Like, I've heard multiple people tell me that it didn't work out for them, and things like that, or that it was super, super hard. But in that moment when it just clicked for us, I was so ecstatic. It was that happiest moment. Well, of course, the happiest moment was me giving birth and seeing him, but it was a really happy moment for me because, like I said, that I instantly thought like, hey, this is gonna happen. What I wanted is gonna happen. So for the next 3 days, I did breastfeed him every 2 hours in the hospital, and it was awesome. Everything worked out. He was getting the, what is it called? So it starts with a C, like the milk, the pre-milk before the milk, like that thick milk. But anyway, he was getting that and everything. But as soon as he left the hospital, they were like, okay, well, he has jaundice, so continue breastfeeding and bring him in for his checkup, and we'll see how he's doing. So I did that. For the first day that I brought him home, I breastfed him, no problem. And so I go to the doctor the next day. We went to the hospital for 8 days straight after that for him to get his blood work done for the jaundice. It was horrible. I hated it. But anyway, so we went to the hospital the next day, and his jaundice level went up. He originally had a level of a 7, and the next day it was at a 9. So they were like, you know what, I think you need to give him formula. I don't know why they didn't want to just put him under like the lights or the blankets or whatever. And they're like, oh, don't keep him in the sunlight. But I'm like, doesn't sunlight help? And like, I have an uncle that's like a doctor guy, and he's like, dude, just keep him near the sun. I'm like, dude, I know. But his pediatrician was like, no, 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 no. And obviously, I don't mean direct sunlight. Like, obviously, I'm not going to have him like Simba shining onto the freaking sun with the sun can hit him. Like, I'm talking about just like by a window, near a window, so the rays can go, on his body. But the doctor was like, no, you need to give him formula. Like, you need to give him formula so he can poop out all the bad stuff and he'll be okay. And I'm like, whatever, I guess. And at first he was like, breastfeed and then formula feed. Do that for now. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. I can do that. So I did breastfeed him, and then I gave him the formula. I did that for about 2 days. And like I said, we went every single day. So at the 2 days after that, his first visit, we go, and his jaundice level went up to an 11 from a 9. So he was like, you know what, just give him formula first and then breastfeed him after if you want. And I'm like, okay. So I did that. So I would give him the formula first, but by that time he's done, it's like he doesn't want to eat anymore. So he would latch on, but he wouldn't suck on anything. He would just stay there just to, calm himself down or whatever it was that he wanted. So it kind of like messed it up for me, for us, I would say, because he would drink the whole 2 ounces that he had and he would not want to breastfeed. So I'm like, okay, it's not really working out. But in my head, I'm like, at least he still knows what it is. Like, he knows the difference. There was never, ever no nipple confusion at all. In the hospital, he had a pacifier. He had the bottle when we got home, and he had my breast. So he never ever was confused with the three of those. So that was really good for him. So I'm like, okay, at least he knows where he's at and what's gonna go on. So the next day, so this is like the fifth day, we go back and his levels go up to a 13. So they're like, okay, just feed him formula every 2 hours on the dot, feed him formula. And I'm like, okay. So, my breast milk at that time came in. On the fifth day, my breast milk came in. It wasn't a lot, but I was leaking enough where I know that he can eat. So I'm like, okay. So instead of giving him the formula first, I gave him my breast because obviously my breasts, they're hurting. So I'm like, I need some relief. So I would give him my breast. He would drink all the milk, like literally all the milk that was in there. And I did not produce that much. So he drank whatever he could, and then I gave him the formula. And a couple of days later, like on the eighth day, his levels finally went down it went up to a 15, and then the eighth day, when we went, it went down to a 13. So it started to lower little by little, but anyway, so after that, I think he just got so used to the formula, like how like much more fatty or sugary or whatever it is. I'm pretty sure he got used to it, and he didn't want my breast to eat. He wanted it to snack, but not to eat. So he would drink his whole bottle, no problem. And when he like was getting cranky or when he just wanted it and I would hold him, he would just wiggle his way down and start feeding. So it wasn't really all the time. I tried to give it to him, my breast, every single time I gave him a bottle, but he just didn't want it. He wanted it more as a snack whenever he wanted it. So I was like, you know what, that's fine. At least I'm still, somewhat breastfeeding. So it had been, I was at the hospital for 3 days, and we went to the hospital every single day after that for 8 days. So that was 11 days where it just really wasn't a breastfeeding connection that we had. It was more him with the bottle and me as a snack. But like I said, I didn't really mind it, but it just it killed me that, I couldn't breastfeed my son the way that I wanted to. But at least I can give him a little snack every here and there. But after that, I noticed my supply, I wasn't leaking anymore. Like my supply was going down or something. Like I was leaking, not a lot, but probably like this much of a leak through my shirt that I would have. And after a while, it stopped, and I'm like, what the heck? So I would like try to see if I had milk, and I would like massage my boobs and try to squeeze, and nothing would come out. And I'm like, what's going on? Like, there's no milk in there. So I would put him on there because they said like if you have your baby there, like your body will say, hey, you need to produce your milk. So I would put him there to see if he would eat or try to eat, and he would suck on it, but I know he wasn't getting any milk because when there's milk, he would have the milk all over his lips or on his cheeks, or I can smell the breast milk on him. And I love that. Like, I miss that so much. I love smelling the breast milk on his face. I don't know why. It's really weird. I don't know if anyone else likes that too, but I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but I loved it. I love smelling it. I don't know why. It made me really happy, but I don't know. But yeah, so I knew there was nothing there because I couldn't smell it on him. My boobs weren't leaking. He didn't have any like residue not really residue, but like, you know, wetness on his face. And I was like, I don't think I have anything. So what I did was I went and bought a pump. And the pump that I use is this one right here. It is the Medela Harmony pump. It's manual. I find that the manual ones work better for me than the electric ones. But anyway, so I got this pump and I looked up exclusively pumping on Pinterest, on the internet, YouTube for about 3 days before I decided I'm going to do this. So we went out and Judah bought me a pump and I was like, you know what, I'm going to try this. So I stuck to the schedule for 3 days straight, pumping every 2.5 hours. I would wake up. I mean, I was usually always already awake because of Noah, but I was, if he wasn't awake and if he literally just went down and that's when I should be sleeping, I would get up and do what I have to do. And the most I would get every single time was 2 or 3 drops. Consecutive me going 30 minutes, the most I would get was 2 or 3 drops every single time. And you don't know, I mean, I don't know if anyone else has gone through this, but you don't know how frustrating this is. Like, you want to feed your son the milk you're supposed to produce. Like, we as women are made to bring children into this world, to bring humans into this world, to feed them, to be their source of nutrition. And to find out that you can't do that, I don't know, it kills me so much. And it's really hard for me to talk about. It's not really hard, but it makes me very emotional because this was something I really, really wanted in my heart, and I couldn't do it. So like I said, I at the most was 2 or 3 drops every 2.5 hours. Never ever was I able to make an ounce at all, or even half an ounce or a quarter of an ounce. There was just nothing going in my body. So I was like, you know what? I guess I just can't do this. So I stopped. I stopped after the 3rd day, and I would just pump every here and there just to see if anything would come out. I would still keep him there just to see if anything would come out. Nothing did for a while. And when I was 1 month postpartum, I told my mother-in-law that, you know, I don't have any breast milk. And at that time I was at her work and someone had overheard me say that. And she was like, hey, you know what? My daughter, she had to stop because of jaundice too, and she had to formula feed. And after that, her breast milk was literally gone, but she found this pill and it worked. It brought it all back. And I'm like, well, I had nothing really to begin with, so would it bring something? And she was like, maybe just try it. So I'm like, okay. And that product literally helped me so much. I mean, you guys are probably going to think it's not even a lot, but it was a lot to me. Coming from 3 drops every 2 hours, 3 little drops of milk, I came to an ounce, 1 whole ounce every single time I would pump. So every 3 hours, I would have a whole new ounce for him, ready, just ready. And it made me the happiest that I was in at that time. And this product is called Legendary Milk. These are the pills that they have. It's all natural, nothing to harm you or your baby. And they have multiple pills. I've only tried 3 so far, and it helped for a while. I mean, I was on it for about maybe 3 weeks, and it was amazing to see my breast leak and to see my son wanting to go to the boob because he knows that there's milk in there. And they helped out a lot. This one is called Pump Princess. I also tried, ooh, it fell. I also tried these other ones. Oh wait, it's not in here. But anyway, let me grab it. I've tried Milkapalooza and Pump Princess and Liquid Gold, and they really helped a lot. The first one I took was Pump Princess, and this one made me go from 3 drops to probably like 20. So, both breasts. So both of that combined was about like a quarter of an ounce. So I was ecstatic. I pumped and I was like, Mom, look at this. And it looks so small. Like it honestly did look like nothing, but coming from 3 ounces, it was a great accomplishment for me. So I was like crying because I was just so happy. So I tried this one and then I tried liquid gold, and that one made me go from a quarter of an ounce to half an ounce to a whole ounce. It just depends on how long I pumped for. So I it was awesome, dude. Like, sorry, I didn't mean to say dude. I didn't mean to call you guys dudes, but whatever. It was awesome. Like, I don't know, just seeing a whole ounce in my little pump in the bottle just made me so happy. And watching my son eat it, I was always on the verge of tears because it just made me so happy, because I was like, I can do this. I got this. This is amazing. Like, it's coming back. I know it's not a lot, but it's something. At least I'm more of a snack to him now, because I really do enjoy breastfeeding, and it just sucks when you can't, because you can't, like, I know some people just choose not to because they don't want to, or because they can't, or obstacles get in the way, but I can. We had a perfect bond. He knows what to do, I know what to do. It clicked. I just can't because I didn't make enough milk. So after finding these, I was like, you know what, yes, like, this is gonna help me. But after a while, it stopped again. So after about 3 weeks of taking it, going from an ounce went back to half an ounce, back to a couple drops. And here we are now. We are 13 weeks in, and I make some milk. Not that much. I don't leak no more. My breasts don't hurt no more. It's just there. If he wants it, he'll go just to calm down or fall asleep, get a couple drops or whatever, but not enough to feed him anymore. Not enough for a whole ounce anymore. But that's pretty much what it is, and hopefully with baby number 2, things will look up. But that's pretty much what my journey has been thus far. So breastfeeding is a no-go for me right now. I guess it just wasn't meant for me. Although we did have the bond right away, it clicked for us right away. I don't know. We'll see with baby number 2 if things change, but for right now, he is just on the formula. But onto that topic, formula. The formula that I am using, I love this formula, is the Up and Up formula, and it is the knockoff of Infamil Gentle Ease. I love this formula. He loves this formula. If you guys watched my video about which formula made my son hurt, you guys will know that I did talk about this one, and we have now decided to just stick with this one because he loves it, we love it. He burps, he poops, never has any trouble eating anymore, and it's great, honestly. Like, I know some people are all about name brand things, and that was me at first. I was like, no, I'm not gonna give him store brand formula, what? But you know what, I was desperate, because I couldn't breastfeed, like I said, and we tried 4 different formulas, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna give it one more shot, and I'm just gonna try this one. I'm just gonna try the Target brand because Target is awesome, and I'm sure they would make awesome formula, and you know what, they do. So this is what we are sticking with. We now buy them in the bulk. They sell it. It's actually 33.2 ounces for $21, and they sell it bulk for a 4-pack for $83. So it is a big saving because my son, it'll last him a week and a half. So, and the Infamil, it's only 20 ounces, 21 ounces of formula in there. Like, bro, that's gone before the week is even gone. I don't know. But if you guys are in my situation and you are needing to pick a formula, try this one. We love it. It works for us. and my son is really sensitive in his tummy, so yeah. If your pediatrician recommended infant milk gentle ease, it is a little pricey for what it is, and you know what, this honestly is better in my opinion and in my son's opinion. He can't talk, he doesn't have an opinion, but I'm sure he is thanking me for feeding him this. But yeah, this is what we are currently using, and the bottles we are using are the Tomy Tippy anti-colic bottles. He was on the Dr. Brown bottles for about 2 months, but you know, he's drinking more, and I don't like the longer Dr. Brown bottles because they're like this tall. That's like half his body, and I don't like it. So, and he reacts great with these. So I was like, you know what, Tomy Tippy, we're good with that. So now we switched over to Tomy Tippy bottles, and yeah, that's pretty much what my breastfeeding journey has been thus far. Like I said, hopefully with baby number 2 things look up, but you know, right now this is what it is. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Um, it was a little hard for me to make. You know, I don't really like to talk about it, but I know it might help someone out there. You know, someone out there is probably in the same position as me. So, if that is you and you are watching, you're not alone, you know. Hopefully with your next baby or whenever, somewhere down the road, you'll be able to breastfeed or whatever. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to give it a big thumbs up if you haven't already, and do not forget to subscribe. Please, 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 that would be amazing. Go ahead and leave a comment down below if you have anything to tell me, if you have any questions, and I'll be more than happy to respond back to you guys. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.